lot of young guys. We got a bunch of first year people getting minutes like Mogbo, like we mentioned, Jacob
That's right. Yeah.
Walker. We got Shed out there. I mean, that's a major piece of our second unit, and then it
A
battles.
lot of players in training. I understand that, and we do have some. I say mid-level players that are going, and we do have, like I said, I believe our stud, which is Barrett right now, with the consistency on that side. But the Raptors, like I said, we need a 3, 4 guys that are gonna give it all every day, all day, through injuries and all. And we need somebody to say, "Hey, look at me. I'm stepped up. I'm not 100%, but I'm giving 110%."
Hello and welcome, Toronto Raptor fans from around the world, to the Raptors in Black and White. We've got Head Swag and Slang bringing you our weekly recap of the Toronto Raptors. We talk about what has gone in this past week and looking ahead to the next week. So, last time we spoke, you were heading to the Raptors against the Suns game
Yep.
last Sunday. How'd that go? I
Oh
was
yeah, it was great. Like I said, we won it. I said the wife, he said, don't let her come out there and not get the W, and they got the W. They listened. So
yes.
they look like a team that we would want to go play, get some more tickets on. But eventually it looked like for the week we went what, 1-3, I think. So
Yeah, well,
yeah.
actually, we got to pat ourselves on the back and take some credit there. I don't know if anybody watched the video last week. Hopefully, you did. If not, you can go back and watch it. But if not, like, subscribe so that you get notifications when we do put a new episode out and you don't miss them. But yeah, we got all the. I think we said 1-3. We said even as specific as Chicago. That Kobe White was going to take us down, and it seemed like, especially in overtime, he went a little bit crazy. But even he hit that three to put it into overtime. So
4-point play to go into overtime, and the Raptors just know how to lose, I tell you.
yeah, yeah, not cool. But before we get to that, actually, let's just jump back though quickly to the Suns because we were talking about. It must have been fun to watch Kevin Durant, but can you see from the sidelines? They're saying that Phoenix they've got like some incompatibility. For some reason, they're not loving playing with each other. Devin Booker, uh, they're not necessarily the right fit for him and Kevin Durant. And what the heck is going on? As I go to pull his name out, who's the guy that they put from Washington?
Oh, Beal.
Yes, sorry, Jesus Christ, Bradley Beal. They're big three. They're
Yep.
saying they're not working out. Can you see that when you're there watching the game, or
No, the chemistry was there. You could see that there was, and then Durant was getting his shots, and like you said, Toronto people loved him. Every time he would score, everybody would be cheering. I'm like, hello, people. He's not from Toronto, but he's just that favorable. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the chemistry was there. You didn't see even
Hmm,
on the sidelines because I was watching with me and my wife one time, and you didn't see no hostility there. So.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, right. Kevin Durant, he had some positive things to say after the game. I know we were talking a little bit that I believe I've read for sure that he was a Toronto Raptor fan. I think it was the Vince Carter dunk contest when he was a kid. And he said something like, loves Toronto, loves playing in Toronto, thinks the fans really have a high basketball IQ. And I was fantasizing, do you ever like? Would it be worth it? How many more years do you think Kevin Durant's got? Is I guess maybe what I'm asking here because I have
I
this
think he's
weird
got like
fantasy. Like things are rocky, and they're saying that they were shopping him at the deadline, so now he's probably going to want out of Phoenix. So I had this weird fantasy that sort of like a Brandon Ingram, we could maybe go pluck him out of there. Unfortunately, I don't think the salaries work unless we give up somebody like an RJ and quickly. But he's
quickly or something.
26.7 points per game still.
Mhm.
This is this season, not career. 6 rebounds a game, 5.9, and 4.3 assists, shooting at a pretty efficient 53.1 from the field. So,
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
it
worth
looks
it?
like this generation of guys are lasting longer. We got LeBron who's at 40. We got Vince Carter who, like you said, came out at 42. So could we get another 4 years out of Durant and give up 2 guys? What do you think?
That's what I'm saying. I think that would be a sick move because you got to have an A1, like one of the. Is he still top five in the league? Probably not. But is he top 10 in
Top
the
10?
league?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think he's up there.
You know, I think he's somewhere around there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
certainly in the argument. I mean, definitely if you're going to stretch it to top 15, I think KD's there. I think he is in the top 10. Maybe next week we should rattle off who we think our top 10 each is, and have a little debate about that. But yeah, no, I like him sort of layered on top of what we've got because obviously he would start. Our second unit would be ridiculous because probably RJ would get pushed to the second unit as well. So then you've got, Dick and pardon me, and RJ coming off the bench. Who the heck else? I mean, actually, who would our lineup be? Jakob, Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, Scottie Barnes, and Emmanuel Quickly. That seems like
right.
that seems like a crazy, yeah.
That'd be a crazy, and then like you said, Barrett coming off of the bench because he's a workhorse. Like the tempo would not be going downhill. It's going. It's you know what I mean. Like wow, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
right. It almost wouldn't even matter who filled that, like Grady Dick. So you got
That's right.
spacing. You
Yeah,
got spacing for RJ. You got Shed could probably manage the point as a backup.
as
Uh,
backup. Yeah,
Actually, maybe just quickly here we could talk about Orlando Robinson. So I guess we what's it called, released or whatever, waived PJ Tucker,
yeah.
and
PJ Tucker's gone. He got waved out of there. Yeah,
yeah, I saw somewhere that they were saying that that might be to make room for Orlando Robinson. Um, what do you
of
think
his
of
two
Orlando
way.
Robinson? Do you like him? Or do you, when you're at that game, do you see anything like? I think he takes too many threes, but maybe that's what they're trying to develop for him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he hits them. Like I said, I don't know if I call those guys practice players. I don't know if in practice he's hitting them, or if it's some sort of play they're trying to develop. But like height, you can't really teach. You know what I mean? And he's got it, but you know what I mean? Like there's something they're trying to work with him. There's something they're trying to. I don't know. I don't know. There's something there.
Yeah, no, I agree because the height thing, I sort of am torn. Like Mogbo seems to be the guy that they wanted to be the backup center, and then it was almost like they just went and found this guy on a 10-day to kind of fill in when Jakob went down because Bruno, Fernando, whatever, wasn't cutting it. I didn't think at the beginning of the year.
And
Uh,
then that's right. Yeah,
yeah, so they replace him here. But then, so I do like his height because that's the one weakness I think Magbo has is, I mean, I know he's got the wingspan and maybe, I don't know exactly what his standing sort of reach is up. I know he's got like the 7 foot. He's somehow, his arms are longer. Like you're supposed to be,
that's right. Yeah, these
supposed
guys'
to be your
wingspans are
wingspan's supposed
always
to be
hard
your height.
longer.
And I don't know how there's a few guys that we've got that their arms reach longer than their height. Mine's almost exactly, I've measured it. Of course, I'm not in the NBA and that's probably why. Um, yeah, okay. So, yeah, I think I'd like to keep an eye on Orlando Robinson and see. I don't think we have another option. It's funny with Christian Coloco, that little weird thing that happened with his blood clot, which is actually strangely the same thing that Brandon Ingram, they were saying they were worried about. I don't know why the Raptors seem to have all these people that get the blood clots because it ended Chris Bosh's career, and then that's what
That's
Coloco.
right. Yeah, I don't know what's up with these guys lately.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to bounce all over the place like that. That was.
That's all right.
But yeah, okay, so back to the Raptors in Chicago because I wanted to get your thoughts on some of the things that happened at the end of that game. I'm looking at the
Well, let's
box.
talk about the start of that game.
Okay,
They came out of the gates blazing. They were looking great, held a nice, beautiful lead. I think they're up by at least 16, 18 points at one point. Looked like they had their foot on Chicago's neck, and I just don't know. The Raptors, they know how to start them, but they need to know how to finish them. I'm telling you. Jeez.
yeah, well, that seems to be where it fell apart, right? I mean, and you're right. The first quarter we were up by three. At the half we were up by nine, um, and then pretty even scoring in the third quarter. And there were parts, yeah, just with a few minutes left. I think we we're up by 16, and then it all just crumbled apart. Now, speaking of centers, Jakob Poeltl was on a limited minute because he's still just coming back from injury, and I think that's probably why. But do you think there's anything to the Raptors tanking? Like, was that a gentleman's tank game, and they sort of purposely limit Jakob Poeltl's minutes? Do you think we're still trying to hang on to that fifth worst spot for a high draft pick, or do you think it was just the Raptors need to get better and learn how to win the game?
Well, all season we know the Raptors need to just get better. We've just it's time and time and time again. You know what I mean? So if it ain't Acapulco, it's gonna be somebody else in there. It's just they need there's some sort of chemistry they got to fix. They like I said, they always come out of the gate starting off strong. We look like we could be an NBA championship team, and then the second half, I don't know what happened, what kind of omen happens when they go in the change room. They come out and it's all downhill from there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I'm hoping that it is just yet. We got a lot of young guys. We got a bunch of first year people getting minutes like Mogbo, like we mentioned, Jacob
That's right. Yeah.
Walker. We got Shed out there. I mean, that's a major piece of our second unit, and then it
A
battles.
lot of players in training, I understand that, and we do have some I say mid-level players that are going, and we do have, like I said, I believe our stud, which is Barrett right now, with the consistency on that side. But the Raptors, like I said, we need a 3, 4 guys that are gonna give it all every day, all day, through injuries and all. And we need somebody to say, "Hey, look at me, I'm stepped up. I'm not 100%, but I'm giving 110%." You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's consistency that I think they're lacking the most of. I mean, because even Grady Dick's only in his second year. Emmanuel quickly is still maybe figuring out how to be the number one point guard because he's
that,
always coming off the bench. So there's still some learning. I that's why I actually think so. I don't know what your thoughts are on tanking the rest of the season. It's going to be very difficult because we've got the easiest schedule coming. We're playing like the Wizards 3 more times. I think we play the Charlotte Hornets twice. We got the Suns again. We've got the Jazz like 2 or 3 times. I mean, our season coming up is the easiest schedule, but I think we should try to remain at the bottom to get a good pick because I don't think it's worth it for us to try and get to the play-in. The experience of getting to the play-in maybe could be positive, but I just don't think we're going to go anywhere if we make it because Dick can get 25 and he can get 2. And
that's right.
Emmanuel quickly can get 22 and he can get 4. And like,
Which is what we've been saying. See what I'm
yeah,
saying? The consistency. What are we getting? We don't know that we're gonna get every day. We know we got Barrett, but who else? Who's his cast gonna be with him? That's the problem. You know what I mean? Even our stud Barnes, we should be talking more about him, but he's just in his own little clout. And like he should step up too, man.
yeah, well, that's a perfect segue because that's where I wanted to go next. I mean, against Chicago, we had 24. I don't have a points breakdown, so I don't know how many of those he got in overtime, as opposed to the regular time or whatever.
The
But
regular time.
they go to Barnes at the end of that game. So as it's funny, and again, please, if you don't believe us, go back and look. We were saying Kobe White for some reason that's the Raptors number. He ends up taking a three with a few seconds left on the clock, and he gets fouled, which again is part of our consistency. We got to stop. I know they like the Raptors' hands to be active, but come on, man, what are you fouling a guy if you're up by 4? Why are you fouling a guy with like no time left on the
And
clock? So that,
and it's White shooting a three. What's the chances?
yeah,
Like, you
exactly.
know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
So
So he hits the three, gets fouled, and manages to hit the free throw to put it into overtime. But it didn't go into overtime yet. We still had 3 point something on the clock, and they go to Scottie Barnes on an inbound play, and Scottie like, I think I could have taken a more accurate shot. I probably would have at least hit the rim. Like his shot went off the top of the backboard and back. What do you think of Scottie in these little ISO moments at the ends of games, or is this what we're kind of excited maybe about Brandon Ingram coming to the team and he could take over that role?
and he could, well, see, that's what I'm saying. Now he could share that role and probably learn from somebody that, hey, I could be a little bit more dominant because you expect Barnes with his size to do hey, I'm going to take 2 steps in and get fouled, or I'm going to go aggressive and dunk on somebody. But like you said, he settles more for these jump shots like he's 6'3". I think he forgets he's 6'10" sometimes,
Yeah,
so
right.
yeah, yeah.
And like as thin as me at least, I think I've told you my son for some reason is like huge, and he's got that Scotty Barnes build. Barnes, I totally agree. I think I told you I was watching it again this morning, and he got the ball, only had the one defense. Yeah, help came over or whatever, and then so like he does give up too easily. He should have just turned and powered to the basket and either tried to dunk it or even a little whatever soft off the glass because he had the inside lane he could have
He
gone
had the inside lane, yeah.
as well. Yeah, dunk it, get fouled. He's a decent
Get
free throw shooter, and it was tied, so it's not like we needed one to tie it, and there wasn't that much pressure. He could have just got one of the two, and we would have won it right there.
And we would have won it, right? Yeah. Or even just to close it out. Hey, people, look, I'm making a statement. Get out of my way. When I got the ball, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm the dagger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But with our Raptor guys, like I said, we don't know what we're getting. Guys are always settling. You know your. I think at this point, being a pro, you know your weaknesses, you know your strengths. Just use them. It's that simple.
Yes, or and even kick it out like Scotty. They say he is a great passer. I don't know why. I know he's trying to be a leader, and they say vocally he's the leader of the team, so that part is all great. But yeah, either go jam it or do what got you. Like the Raptors, like you're saying, when we come out in the beginning of the game and we're moving the ball and people are hitting shots, I start to get excited and think, man, this team's going to be sick. And yeah, we could win against any team in the league. And then we get into this weird ISO, not moving the ball. It gets clogged up. People seem to get confused. They don't know what the hell to do with it. We're just doing handoff, dribble, handoff, dribble, handoff. Anyway,
And not closing out on shooters. I can't say enough. These guys know who the 3-point guys are, and they just make them rain them all day.
yeah,
I'm like, come on, you've done the homework. We know who's the 3-point shoot, but you guys just don't want to close out on those guys. For what reason? I don't know.
no, it's weird that they revert back to the strange basketball. So I'm just saying at the end there, last Scotty, like when the help came over, kick
Yeah,
it to the open guy. There was still, it wasn't like
yeah,
1.4 seconds. Like it was like 3.6 or 3.8 or
that's
something.
right. That's right. And he used about 2.2 of it. He could have just kicked it over a three dagger in the head. Hey, see, that's a Jordan play there. Right? That would have been the Kerr in the corner, bang, three. Hey, let's go home and have some coffee.
Yes, exactly, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna pull up the who we're playing in the rest of this week, and then we'll maybe see what we think they're gonna do here. But yeah, Raptors are still. I was just double checking the standings. We are fifth last, so we've still got that 10. What is it? 10.5% chance of getting Cooper Flag.
Yo, off topic though, did you see how Curry went a little crazy this week? 56 points. Jeez.
Well,
12.
okay. Actually, you know what? That's interesting that you brought that up because I got a funny story. So my father lives in Florida, and my cousin works for the Golden State Warriors, right? My cousin is one of the trainer people, like she's on the sideline sitting there.
All the time. Yeah.
It's kind of trippy because she got me tickets when she was in town in
Nice.
Toronto. And like I'm sitting there, she's like literally sitting on the bench. Like I can't remember who comes off, but like oh my God, what's wrong with me? Draymond is one of her guys that she's responsible for.
Yeah.
Like Draymond comes off the floor, and yeah, she's like, rubbing whatever some stuff on his lower back, or getting the heat pad thing, or helping him, make sure his legs are still not stiffening up. So last time she was in Orlando, my dad went and had lunch with her, and Draymond was there. So he's hanging with Draymond Green all afternoon. And then Draymond gave him tickets to that night's game. He wasn't even planning. He's close enough to Orlando that he was just driving to, hang with my cousin
Yeah.
and have lunch or whatever. Yeah. So he ends up going to that game. And then this one, I was actually talking to him on the phone when he was heading down there. He texted me afterwards and goes, yeah, Danny. So I don't know if I should say my cousin's name on here. I don't know about leave that out, but I guess it doesn't matter. She gave him tickets, but he had something that he had to go do, and so he decided to go do his volunteer work instead. And then the next day, yeah, he was texting me going, Steph Curry had 56. He goes, I probably should have taken those tickets and gone.
That's right.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Um, so yeah, I did see it, and it has fantasy basketball ramifications. I'm going head to head with a certain person that we grew up with that used to live on Stargel that I need to
Oh,
defeat.
okay. I think I
Yeah,
know the person.
yeah. We're both first. He's actually slightly ahead of me because he already beat me head to. Our records are the same, but he beat me in our first head-to-head game. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so he's actually sitting above, but our records were tied for first, both of us. And
Okay.
both clinched playoff spots, just FYI out there, in case you're thinking that, don't know what we're talking about the NBA. But yeah, I need to beat him like today. It's coming down to today. I'm ahead. I'm ahead by like 22 or 23 or something. So um, there's ramifications in all those games with our fantasy
What
basketball.
did your friend say?
It's hilarious. Okay, but yeah, sorry here. I'm trying to get to the Raptors schedule. Let me pull it up here. So yeah, we've got coming up. It's weird how ESPN does the schedule now. They do the games you played below instead of the ones coming up above. Anyway, sorry, my own pet peeve.
No
Um,
worries.
so yeah, today we've got Orlando. I don't know if Banchero's playing. We seem to be able to beat them when he's not around, but when he's there, he seems to kill us. And Suggs has a chip on his shoulder from not getting drafted fourth instead of Barnes, so he goes.
Instead of you got it. There's a little. I'm a better player than you.
Yeah, which makes me crazy. So, and we're doing back to back Orlando actually. So we've got Orlando today. We play Orlando again on Tuesday. Um, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we split one of those? You think we sort of get angry if we lose today and then sort of take them out next time, or maybe even we catch them by surprise today and then they get their stuff together and
Well,
pummel
it
us?
was a week ago. I was there for a W, so I say today we take the W again. I think they like that 6 o'clock, that earlier game. They get to go home. They feel good. I don't know. I think they got this one today. But going and traveling to Orlando and that little travel time and away from home, I think Orlando will take their home one. I would love to say that we could take the
Actually,
away game,
weirdly,
but
they're both at Orlando, actually, which is a funny schedule thing. Yeah, remember we did
really,
that earlier
okay.
in the year too? We had an at Atlanta and then an at Atlanta. And I don't know why it does it like that, but yeah, I would have thought it was a home and home as well, but I am staring at it. So yeah, they're
Okay.
both at Orlando, but I still agree with you on the Sunday thing. The Raptors always sort of had that Sunday game. I think it's almost like from I don't know, were they trying to showcase Vince in the afternoon, or did just nobody care about the Raptors, so they would get that earlier slot, so that they weren't prime time? I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Raptor. Even when Raptors was doing good, they didn't even want to give them prime time. Jeez, in 2019.
I know. Yeah, we'd always have like a 3 o'clock start, or like I think we had a 1 o'clock start once on a Sunday afternoon. I'm like, what? 1 o'clock?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was
Okay.
1 or 12 o'clock. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so then we got Utah on Friday. Um, Sadly, I think we're beating Utah.
Sadly, I think we'll get Utah. Yeah, I'll take Utah. Why not?
Yeah, you're
So
taking
you're saying we're gonna do
Raptors winning against Utah, right?
so you're saying we're gonna do 2-1, 2 wins and 1 loss then?
And then, sorry, I got one more game until we're on here again on Saturday. We're playing Washington. So I actually think we're going the opposite of this week. I think we're going 3 wins, 1 loss.
Okay.
I'll agree with you on the. I wasn't sure about which Orlando game, but I think they could take one. But I'll align with that. That they'll take Sunday because they like it, so they win tonight. Lose
Hmm.
on Tuesday, and I'm saying they win against Utah and they win against Washington. Because one interesting thing about Chicago is we finally did have a starting lineup that we've been sort of all hoping for all year. We had Jakob Poeltl, Scottie Barnes, Grady Dick, R.J. Barrett, and Emmanuel Quickly. They actually started all together for I don't even know like what is that
And that's what I'm trying to
all
say.
game.
Coming out the guns, they were blue. I was like, look at the team. And then I'm like, look, they got their foot right on Chicago's neck, and then I don't know what happened.
Yes, well, that's the trials and tribulations of being a Raptor fan. That's why we're here. We just want to talk with you guys. It's a place that you can check in, and sort of feel like we're just hanging, having a conversation about Raptors. We've been Raptor fans since day one. We hope that you guys continue to support the channel. Please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, comment, comment.
Comment.
We actually had a comment, I think, last week, surprisingly, but we don't get any comments. So please engage with it. Just, even if you put, like I've said, you guys suck. You talk too much slang. Let Headswag, stop cutting them off with the next topic or whatever. I'll take some constructive criticism versus nothing on there, right?
That's it, people.
All right, great. So yeah, we're out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.